My early memory is the best time of my life. I was very, very happy, successful, especially with boys. Yeah,
Go ahead.
isn't it true?
Yeah, yeah.
And what else? I used to love to go skating, dancing. When we used to go with my sister Elvira, having tea in those nightclub, but it's in the afternoon.
Tea rooms.
You have a tea room. And there I met a young fellow. His mother was French. His father was Armenian, was the son of a millionaire. We went out together and we got engaged. I was very young then. There was a lot of boys that I used to go out with, and he didn't like that. And then after, I don't know, about 2 years being engaged, his father died, so we had to postpone the wedding. By postponing the wedding, he didn't like that I was talking with other fellas, and we separate.
You broke up.
I broke up. He was my real first love. But then the same day I left him, we broke up, I went with my mother in Cairo. We had a brother in concentration camp. It was a civilian concentration. And when we were there, I went to a dinner with another sister of mine. And in that dinner, I met Danny. After 3 months, we got married with him. And that's the story. I got married, got 3 boys. That's it.
My early memory in Egypt. Oh, I had a very good friend. Her name was Elvira. We were not supposed to spend the night in anybody's house, you know, but she could. So she always spent the night with me. And we used to go to the movie together and sometimes skip school and go to the movie in the morning. Friday morning, it was from 10 to 12, so we used to go to the movie. And then spending time together until time to go home, you know, when school ended. And so she was a very good friend of mine. He wasn't a very big talker, my husband, Bill. And being that also I couldn't speak very good English, so we never had a big conversation. But then when with children, they were born, that's when we start, you know, communicate, you know, because of the children. First was Yole, and then it was Nonna, and they were born in Ethiopia. And then we start communicate pretty good, and I start to talk English a little bit better. It was a very nice life in Ethiopia too. Very, very good. I liked it very much. I was sorry to leave Ethiopia, but he had enough of being away from the United States, you know, and his family was over here too. So I said, okay, we're going to America. So that's when we came, and from then he worked for Conver, and was good also. And he was transferred to Pittsburgh. We moved to Michigan. That's when Marie was born. And my sister Yole, she came over when I was expecting the baby, and she stayed with me for a long time. Marie was born, yes, in June, 21st of June. I moved back to California, and that's where I stayed there with my mother-in-law for a little while until my husband came back, you know. We moved quite a bit. Every couple of years we were moving, going to Europe, Brazil, or Pittsburgh, or Michigan, or Florida. And it was a very nice life. I liked it. moving. And the children too, they didn't mind moving, especially for school, because they were going to parochial school, and all the school parochial, they were always the same, They teach the same thing, so they didn't miss anything. And they were happy too.
And every time you moved, you used to stop by me.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling. You want to know about that?
Yeah. Yeah. She moved there. When she had a vacation, she always came to Florida.
To visit her.
Visit there, yeah.
Used to take the kids because they were off school, and used to spend the summer with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We had a lot of crazy experience.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy experience together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was in
Tell them about the fish.
We used to go, order some fish, and where there was a young man that was serving us. We said, we want this kind of fish and this kind of fish. He said, okay. So we go home, we open the package. First of all, there was all the
bones of the fish.
Yeah.
He put all the bones in.
And then the package was shrimps or something like that, He was joking with us.
They used to do the fighting, what do you call them?
Oh, wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
When her husband was away on trip,
Yeah.
we used to go anyway to see the wrestling match. We used to sit down at the first row.
And once in a while, somebody would sort
Come
jump
right on
us.
top of us. Purposely.
Yeah.
We did a lot of crazy things together, really, if I could remember.
Yeah. We used to go to the beach there,
In Pensacola,
the Navy place.
the Navy base.
Yeah. And it was very nice. That's where Eugene started swimming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost drowned in the pool.
That's in the pool, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was little,
Not even 3 years old, must have been a couple of years old, him and Donna. And he fell in the pool. Me, all dressed up, I go in there and I pulled him out of the pool. That was a funny thing too.
That was in Pensacola, yeah.
Yeah.
Or New Orleans. She was very good with me.
She used to leave the children with me, and they used to go shopping because in Ethiopia they didn't have the clothes and the furniture, like a dishwasher, a refrigerator. So they used to go shopping to have it delivered in Ethiopia. So I used to show off her little girl, Donna.
Yeah.
She was so cute. She was real blonde. And I used to love to show her off. Yeah, I used to take care of them all the while that she was there.
Yeah.
And it's a small house. I had only 2 bedrooms. I can't understand how we all fit in there. I mean, I had 3 kids. My husband and I, we were 5. And her and her husband and her 2 kids
Yeah.
in a 2-bedroom house. How did we do it?
Well, I don't know, Yole. You had the couch, I guess, for children or something. Yeah. But, well, we weren't there too long. I mean, we just came.
Yeah, we were there for a couple of weeks, and when you used to come, yeah, you do all the shopping. Yeah.
So, but it was very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
I don't know how I used to do it, to tell you the truth. Maybe because I was young. But I always made people comfortable, always. Fed them very good. How I did it, I don't know. No.
Who's the better cook?
Who's the better cook? She is.
Sure. I like to cook. I like to cook, really. Until today, I always cook for myself. Yeah. So,
But she stopped inviting people.
yeah.
She doesn't cook for anybody anymore.
Well, it comes to a point, you just can't do it. It's not only the cooking, it's the preparation, the serving, and after that, And I'm not a kid anymore,
Well, she did it all her life. That's
I
enough.
did all my life, yeah.
Yeah.
My kids were always there. Joey used to live across the street from me. He used to come in the morning, in the afternoon, at night.
Yeah.
And all my friends, tell them how many people used to be in my house
Yeah.
for breakfast or lunch and supper.
They were really like, how do you call
Every
it?
day, like glue.
Yeah.
They
But
were glue in my house.
They didn't
Yeah.
come and stay for an hour or so, no. Came for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and go away. And after an hour again, they came back, you know. They had nothing to do. So Yole house was open all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
they liked her.
It was. I had a wonderful time in New York too. Wonderful time.
Yeah.
So
Except it was very cold. Winter.
I didn't even feel it.
No.
I
no.
used to go to work
Yeah.
with snow and everything. I never felt it. When you're younger, you don't realize weather doesn't bother you.
It bothers Bill, my husband. Yeah. When he was in Pittsburgh, he stayed because of a job, you know. They opened a new airline, and that was cold too. So he stayed there for a year or so. When he retired, you know, they asked him to open that airline, and he really didn't like it. He really suffered the cold. He didn't care for cold.
My children grew up a little bit. I went to work. I had a friend, her name was Josie, and she used to work in a gift shop. And one day she says, Yole, we need somebody in the store, and I'd like you to come. I said, Josie, I never worked in my life. How can I come? She said, you just come. If you could knit and remember numbers of your knitting without looking at it, you could work in my place. I actually ran the store, especially after the husband died. The wife didn't know how to do anything in there. So I worked there for 9 years until the place closed. So when it closed, I was home. I was resting very good. The girl next up from me, she said, Yole, she says, we need a girl in the office. She was a hygienist. I said, working in the office? Come on, I don't know how to do that. She says, come over, I know you could do it. So I worked in the office for maybe a couple weeks. Somehow, the doctor and her had an argument. So the doctor comes out and he says, Yole, come over here. And he makes me go in the operating room. He says, I was shaking. I said, I don't know how to do it. He says, just do what I tell you. I already know all the instruments, you know, before I even sat down in the office. I know everything, every position, you know, what the people had to have and everything. So anyway, he got me there, and before you know, I became a hygienist without a license. So I worked there for the dentist, 10 years until I came here. He didn't want me to leave. He says, Yole, don't leave. Don't go California. You better stay here. I'll raise you, give you a raise, and I'll give you coverage for, retirement and everything. I says, well, my husband wants to go to California. And we came here. Then I went to her dentist, and her dentist wanted me to work there with the experience that I had and everything. So my husband says, no. He says, if you work, I'm going to get married. He didn't want me to get to work. So he didn't work, I didn't work, and he started to work. And I lived here for 6 years. And after 6 years, they came back from one of those trips that they had. And then we moved to where I lived. But another thing that I regret, that when I came to California, I didn't go straight to buy a house. I rented her house for 6 years. I could have had a house paid, you know, rather than a mobile home. But to tell you the truth, I'm happy today because I'm safe in a mobile home and I don't have to do anything, you know, cleaning or So I'm very happy, very, very happy the way everything turned out. You know, sometimes you regret certain things as you go along, but then everything comes well, and this is my case.
Well, we weren't very close when we lived in Egypt, but when I got married, and once every, let me see, every a year and a half, something like that, my husband used to have a 2 months vacation, so we used to come to visit his parents, but we stopped in New York, and I spent the time with her. That's when we got closer. And I had the children also, and she used to take care of my kids when I was out, and I remember when we used to live in the United States to go back to Ethiopia. She used to take us to the airport, and she was very, very sad. It took her, I don't know how long, to forget me.
Yeah, I used to be heartbroken when she left.
Yeah.
You know, because I was away from the family. We had a big family, beautiful family, and to be away, and then her coming over, I felt that my heart was full again, you know. And when she left, I was very depressed.
Yeah.
Very depressed for a long time.
And but every time we came back to United States, you know, every year, and we stopped in New York. We spent time with her and her family, and it was very nice. I really enjoyed it, except when it was winter time. Oh, I didn't care for winter here. Any funny stories with your boyfriends? You that you have so many? Huh?
No,
What about with Jacqueline, that she's trying to rob your boyfriend?
she did.
Yeah, and your friend then got her and slapped her?
I used to love to go skating, so I had a boyfriend over there. His name was Alfredo. And she used to wait for me to go home so she could dance with him, with this fellow. But then I had another friend in there, very close to me, and she saw what she was doing. She was trying to get him, you know. One day she really beat the heck out of her because she was trying to get him away from me for herself.
I guess it ended good, you know. She left, and you got your boyfriend back.
Yeah. I had a lot of boyfriends, really.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Well, you know, we used to go out, but only in the around 10 o'clock in the morning, come home before lunch, or in the afternoon, early afternoon, and come home before dinner, because we weren't allowed to be out after dark. My father was very, very strict. If he knew what we were doing outside, he would have been really shocked. There wasn't nothing wrong, you know, we're just flirting, you know.
Go out with fellas.
Yeah.
Like if we weren't supposed to do that. Imagine that.
Yeah. Or we used to say, we're going to church today.
We always went to church but my mother was very nice. We used to take my mother, and she used to cover out for us.
We used to take her to her friend. You know, they used to go to her house for tea or something. And meanwhile, I used to go to the movie, that I wasn't allowed to go to the movie, with my friend, you know, and then go back, pick up my mom, and go back home with her.
And I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I used to go out with my mother.
She was very good with us. It's too bad that she passed very young. She was only 52, you know, when she passed.
She knew that we weren't doing anything wrong, you know. I mean, going out with a fellow. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing. We never did anything wrong, you know.
We want to have good time,
Yeah.
you know. And that was a good time for us.
Yeah.
Just sneaking out. Yeah. So, what else?
Yole, why do you think you had so many boys after you?
Oh, because she was
I don't know.
attractive, very, very attractive.
I don't know about attractive, but yeah, I had a lot of, even married men, believe it or not. Even an Egyptian teacher from a school.
Yeah. I don't know. The men there, they're too much for women, you know, young women. They used to call us Amara, means you are a moon. You know, we just walking on the street, you know. They used to behind us, oh, Amara.
Had a lot of people touch me in the
Yeah,
back.
they even used to touch you, you know, go back, you know, like somebody coming this way and you're going that way.
Oh, I
And
gotta
they-
tell you
they used to
something.
just you know, with the elbow.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of pleasure they had.
I used to go to church, right? And every time I used to go to church, somebody out of nowhere used to come to scare me or to touch me. Believe it or not, I was a kid then too. During the war, when we used to go to visit my brother in concentration camp with my mother, I saw him over there. I wanted to tell my brother, because my brother was in concentration, get with him too. But I didn't. I did. It's a good thing I didn't, because I think my brother would have killed him. Yeah, he was the one that used to do that. One day, my sister Jonna got a hold of him, and boy, did she beat him. Did she beat him? My sister Jonna was like a boy.
That's Ricardo's mother.
Through her, I met everybody.
But you meet people in the street, you know. They come close to you and they talk to you, you know.
Just to beg you to go out with them or to have coffee or tea, you know. Yeah. At that time, I had about 4. I had Costa, Alfredo, the
Shame.
guy that I got,
Shame.
Andre, and the married guy. Yeah,
Is that something?
it was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah.
And my sister Eugenia, she was really
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that people went around behind her all the time, you know. And
Yeah.
she used to go in the window, you know, looking outside the street, and somebody looking up, you know, do sign and come down or something. And she used to close the window. She was very, very
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. And all of them, you know, my sister, when they used to come down the street, and there was a coffee shop in the corner, you know, and some men said, "Oh, I saw your sister just go by." They knew us, you know. Everybody there on the boulevard knew us, and they said, "Oh, your sister, the other sister came by here. She just went that way." We always walked, you know. We didn't have a car, you know. We always walked in the. It was a big old boulevard street, you know, and we used to take the tram to go to my sister Angelina. She used to live at Ramlade's beach town, you know.
Cleopatra.
Yeah, Cleopatra or Brahmia, yeah. And everybody knew us by just because we lived there, you know.
How many sisters?
Well, we were 9 sisters and 2 brothers. And I think they were all very nice looking girl. Very nice. My sister. I'm not talking about myself.
You were good looking, too.
No, you were. No, you were.
You're still modest.
But the traveling, when we start traveling, was very, very elegant, you know. You wore fur, you wore your jewelry. Sometimes if you had a hat, you wore a hat, you know.
No jeans. No jeans forever.
No. Every time was with the dress.
Dresses, suit.
Very dressy. The pilot was very, very gentleman. They used to come around, you know, to the passenger and say hello and have a little conversation with each passenger. You were allowed to smoke, and now, you know, that's stopped. Anyhow, but it was very nice. Sometime when I traveled with Donna, she was a baby, or with Joe when a baby, you know, with the basket. Even the pilot used to come around and pick up the basket and take me all the way through the
To your
custom.
seat.
To the custom. Yeah, they were very, very nice. Not now. Not anymore. And we used to have a very good time. There was once surprised that I didn't tell my sister I was coming, so I got there in Cairo, and I knocked on the door, no answer. So I went to the neighbor because they were a very good friend. I said, my sister's not here. What happened?
The
She
surprise was on her.
said, your sister, she's in Lebanon. She flew a week ago, and she's spending, the summer over there with her family. I said, oh, okay. She said, but you're welcome to stay here for the night. So I did stay there for the night, and then I went to one of my friends that lived near the pyramid in Giza, and she used to be a stewardess. And I spent a few days with her. Then I went back to Alexandria to my other family, my sister and my father. And that was really a surprise of me. I said to myself, I better next time tell them. So that's how it happened. But it was very nice.
Well, the first time I saw the pyramids, it was when I got married, and we had our honeymoon Mena House Hotel. And that hotel is right across the street, the pyramids. We went to the hotel, I went to bed, and the moon was shining bright. So my husband says, look at that. I says, yeah, what a big moon. He says, no, look behind the moon. It was the pyramids. That's the first time I saw the pyramids.
And we lived in Egypt.
And
too.
we lived in Egypt. I was 17. Wasn't too bad.
In my time, Rio was very, very nice. I really enjoyed Rio. We had a lot of fun. Every night we were out dancing. When I lived in Copacabana, there was a bar downstairs from a street, and Nat King Cole was there. And he was playing in the bar down the street where I lived. And we went to see him, and he was so nice, very, very nice. He lived in the Excelsior Hotel that was next door to us. And we had a very, very good time. I said hello to him, but I didn't talk to him, just say hi. And he waved at me too. It was very nice.
In Argentina, I really loved it, but not Brazil. Brazil was awful for me. Argentina, I had a lot of fun. There was, we were able to eat outside and dance. Everybody used to come and ask you to dance. It was like a family. They were strangers, but yet you felt like you were in the family. Under the ground, we took a tour, of course, and over there was like a world, no world over there. And there was a jazz playing music. Imagine it in the water and in the island. And you could dance over there. You hear the music and the echo, from the water and from underneath. It was beautiful, beautiful. I really had a wonderful time in Argentina. And then another thing, my husband used to go to sleep. I used to go out. Nobody bother you.
Not in Argentina, in España.
In España. Madrid, huh? Yeah, I used to go out at night, walk the street. Nobody bother you.
They're very late. They go home very late, They have dinner around 10 o'clock at night, in Spain.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
day.
when night starts, the day starts for them, The whole night they're out dancing and singing. It's beautiful. The nightlife.
After I got married, I came to New York. The World War II was still on. And it took us 3 days to come to New York from Egypt, from Cairo to New York. And on a plane, it was a military plane, and I was the only woman in there. And I was pregnant. They were very, 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 very curious people. They made me sleep on a plane, on a bed. It was a very long ride.
Yeah, when I first came to the United States, That's the first time I saw a TV at Aunt Nellie's house.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, we didn't have TV in Egypt. No, just radio and phonograph, you know, with a handle. And then my father put it electricity, you know. But when I came here, it was in 1948. I'm not sure if it was the first time I saw the TV in 1948 or in the 50. Must have been 48 that the TV came out. And I was so surprised. And we used to watch TV in the afternoon. Beautiful programs, you know, family, and a lot of cartoons.
Not everybody had a TV. So whoever had a TV had company every Sunday.
That's in New
Every
York.
Sunday. In my case, you know. And my sister was the only one that had a TV at that time. She was the first one. And everybody was in her house.
Yeah, like
Not only watching TV, but having dinner until she got tired.
We have, in Egypt, we had an ice chest. But over here they had the refrigerator, you know, with the motor on top of the refrigerator.
When I came in the States, they didn't have a refrigerator during the war, you know? So I had to have an ice box. And the iceman used to come and deliver the ice. How many things we threw things away, you know, with the ice box.
Did he used to flirt with you?
No.
No?
A nice man? No.
Why not? Iceman or who else ever? Oh, you had the vegetable people too coming around.
The grocery man?
Huh?
Bruno.
In those days, you know, in New York, there was a donkey with a cart going around the neighborhood selling vegetable. And I was so shocked. I said, America with donkey and carts?
It
like
was
that?
very backwards. We were very ahead in Egypt, in everything. When we came, it was very primitive.
I think the new generation is more, they know more now than we used to at your age, you know?
That's for sure.
Yeah. So you can teach us.
We had the experience of so many years, you know? The main thing is to keep the family together all the time. You have a lot of love, a lot of strength, and good future too, when you have family. And a lot of family over here are not together.
Not very close, huh?
But that's the best thing, it's being close with the family. We were very close, very, very close.
Friend, you know, friend is very nice friend, but it's not like a family. You always can depend on your sister or your brother or your, you know, niece or anything, but the friend comes and goes.
That's a saying of Clara.
Yeah.
Your friends could be here and gone tomorrow, but not your family.
Yeah.
You can always depend on the family. They never turn you down.
Yeah. Look at that cutie. Yeah. Yeah.
What? What do you want?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You want a glass of wine?